Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Auntie, where we keep it real, raw, and relatable. I am Key, and I'm here with my co-hosts Jay and Joe, and we ready to just bring it to you. Joe, what we talking about?
Before we get into it, I do have a question for you guys.
Let's go.
What's something you used to enjoy that you keep saying you're going to go back to it, but haven't done it yet?
Ha! Running. But I actually started back. I be stopping.
Mhm.
And just this week I started back. So it's
Okay.
brutal. But yeah, that's my answer.
For me, it'd be kickboxing.
Oh,
Because I
Okay.
missed that. I missed it. I still miss it. I still have my gloves. And I was this I don't know if you guys seen it. They have this musical thing you can put on your wall and box to
Hmm.
music or whatever.
okay.
I keep saying I'm gonna pull the trigger and get it, but it's still not the same thing as the class, environment because it's all a whole bunch of people in there and then you spar
Hmm.
against each other. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go back to kickboxing because I liked it.
I actually like the bag where the bag that sits in it is supposed to is
Oh.
not hanging off the wall. It actually has the stand. Yeah. I was actually thinking about getting that too and putting it downstairs in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, for me is the biking.
Okay.
But I
All right.
have every intention the minute the weather changes up a little bit.
So you said the minute the weather changes up a little bit. So Jay, what's up with you? You gonna get back to it or
Yeah, I know they have something up here. I used to go in the city when I was going. I used to go like directly after
mm-hmm.
work. So I have to
Yep.
just find a spot up here that works out for me and work with my schedule. But yeah,
Okay.
so
Nice.
Cool. Nice.
Okay.
So what we talking about? What's this topic for this week?
Is this the final form of us or just the current version?
Is it's meaning are we truly in the best version of ourselves? If we had to leave everything behind, would we and start over, what would that look like?
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
Right. So okay, all right. um I guess, and then to add on to that is
yeah.
who we are now versus who we are becoming, if we are
That's why I'm.
evolving.
That's the way I'm thinking about it
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I don't think if I didn't think about it, I don't feel like anyone's really in their final form except for people who just stagnant and just sitting around in the corner somewhere doing nothing. And I just use the corner as like a metaphor. But yeah, other than that, I think people are constantly evolving into
Mm-hmm.
something, whether it be better or worse. Hopefully for the better, but we know people tend to go in the other direction when whatever for whatever reason. But I don't think anyone's ever in their true final form until they leave this earth. My
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Okay.
Yes.
Unless, like I
So
get stay in the corner.
but there's a lot of people that, there are people that seek to evolve and want that journey, and then I think there are people that are like, this is the way I am, and that's that. So they
Yeah,
they just go through life that way.
yeah.
um but I
But
have a question. Something, when I was thinking about this topic, something that popped up in my head was, and what I see consistently with not just people that I know, but
Mm-hmm.
even things that I read. And it just begs the question, are we living for ourselves versus, our ability to live for others?
Okay.
hmm,
Matter of fact, I'm going to ask each and every both of you that, and then I'm going to answer it. So who
you
wants to
always doing
tackle
that shit. You answer it first.
that? All right. So I will say that I've always had this mindset of, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna do what I want, and I don't give a damn what anybody thinks, even when I was little, up until now. But there are times in life where sometimes you get tugged by, oh my gosh, this is what they need of me,
Mm-hmm.
and it may not be something I really want to do. Or,
Mm.
but you know what? I know this person needs this, so I'm gonna sacrifice my want and need
Mm-hmm.
to appease. So that is the answer that if you would have asked me this, and if I were to be really honest, maybe even 20 years ago, maybe even 30 years ago, I still had 75% is I'm gonna do what I want. But that other 25% I had to do. I didn't know. Let me change that. I didn't have to. I chose
You
to.
chose.
Right?
Mhm.
I believe in my heart of hearts within the last 10 years, I don't give a damn. I'm so selfish, and it's that feeling has increased.
Yeah.
I really don't care. I'm only living for myself because you only have one life,
Agree
right?
100%. Yep.
You
Agree
only have one life,
100%.
and
Yeah.
I feel like now, at the big age that I am, and even then, even 10 years ago, I felt like at the big age that I was then, I felt like why the hell do I have to appease other people? Why can't I do the things that I want to do when I want to do it? And I found myself in a conundrum where it's like, okay, it was like a push pull, and I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. We're so not
Yeah.
doing that.
Well, I'll challenge that. I'll ask two things. One, I like the fact that you rephrase having to, because too many people use that I have to do X, Y, and Z, right?
Yes.
You don't have to do anything, like you
That's
said.
right.
You choose to do these things. But looking at 2020 hindsight, like, did you get any type of gratification out of helping? Like, I know you say 75% was I was doing what I wanted to do, and I was over 25% was helping other people. But there had to be some, I would like to think there
Sometimes.
was some sort of gratification out of being helpful and being available and being there for somebody else, which is, I would think, why you probably did it. Because if you had that mindset that you've had all these years, and it was a big part of your mindset of I'm gonna do what I want to do, that 25% of helping somebody else had to give you some type of like happiness.
Sometimes.
Not all the time. Yeah.
But I think most times I would regret. So I use the context in this example of helping someone else. But if we flip that on his head and we talked about not helping anyone else, but in terms of letting other people talk me out of doing something that I wanted to do,
that's different.
That's completely different, but it's still in the same vein of the question. Are you
Yeah,
living
yeah,
for yourself, or are you living for others, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I started to have regrets of postponing things that I maybe wanted to try, maybe wanted to explore. And I think it started, actually, when I think back, this started back in my 30s. I started running in my 30s. It wasn't nobody in my circle doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? But it was something that I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Now, Josette, you may or may not. Oh, I use your government name, child. I'm sorry. Joe. Joe, you may or may not remember this. So I'm going to see if you do. But we used to be in a book club, and there was a number of older women that were in this book club with us. And one of the women, may she rest in peace, her name is Daryl, and her and I were talking, like, we would talk about the book, but we would get together, and then we would end up talking about, as most women do, start talking about a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And one of the things that came up, now back then, this was in my 20s, we talked about a marathon. And she said she wanted to run one. Now, this is in my mid-20s at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that too. But it was always in the back of my mind. Joe, I don't know if you remember that conversation. You definitely was there, but I was like, I'm gonna run one too. And it just stayed in the back of my mind. But it was something that I wasn't in an environment with other people at that time that was endeavoring to do the same thing. And I say all that to say this: sometimes when you are in a group of people that either one or two things, if you bring something up and they're like, what marathon, or what are you talking about, it can deter you if you're not strong enough. And I will admit, back then, I might not, in my late mid-20s, maybe I had different competing priorities, but I delayed that until, mid-30s. And then I did run the marathons and all those things. But my point in, like, answering your question is, like, the gratification, sometimes helping people, yeah, sometimes no. And
Yeah.
then if we flip it on its head and we talk about doing the things that you want to do for yourself,
Yeah.
Mhm.
more often than not, it's no.
Yeah. No, and I get that. Similar thoughts that I had about how I probably put myself aside for a lot of things or a lot of people. And what it did to me was made me angry and frustrated. I would get mad because I
Mhm.
didn't complete the things that I wanted to do because I
Mhm.
wound up putting myself aside. And I was a free spirit. I just whatever way the wind blew at that time, I just kind of went. But I find that as I've gotten older and as I have evolved and as I continue to evolve, that I know some things need structure. Like you can't always be by the seat, fly by the seat of your pants. You need some structure, especially if you want to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, right? So setting those boundaries, saying no, and only doing the things or helping when I truly really want to help is
Mhm.
that's what I've put into place now. So and even asking for help and stop trying to do everything my damn self. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other thing.
Okay.
I struggled, I guess, my 30s, late 20s, 30s. My situation was different because me being a mom was priority. So a lot of my dreams and what I wanted to accomplish had to be put to the side because circumstances and situations, I wasn't able to do what I wanted. Now I'm in a position, but I'm still somewhat in survival mode because I have new circumstances. I take care of my mom. So there's just certain things that I would like to do. Um, but I'm kind of being hindered by doing it because my priority now is making sure she's taken care of. Um, so I'm kind of limited to where I am currently. I'm not able to, like, let's say, leave the country or go travel the way I would like because of that. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but I got some stuff in the fire that I do intend on doing this year. So it's coming. I mean,
Good. No, that's
Yeah.
good. And I think, one of the things you mentioned being a mom, I think we all were mothers,
We all
right?
been there.
We all been there, right? We all been there.
We're still there.
Um, and
Thank God.
I I think there yes, there have been times when I did put myself first before my kids. And I needed to.
hmm
And I don't regret it. And in fact, they benefited from it. I'm a better mom because of it.
Yeah.
okay.
Right. So I had to learn. I'm so grateful that I learned. And even when people were like beating me down, because of everything you just said, oh, you're a mother. No. It ebbs and flows. There are
Yeah.
times when, yes, they have to be put first, but then there are times when I need to be put first, because if I don't take care of me, I will be no good to them. So I
Yep.
learned that very, very, and that, that's in the same vein of, Shakira being or Key being, I'm gonna do what I want. So because that was the attitude. What you telling me? And I would always look at the people
Yeah.
that would say to me, "You should do that for your kids." And I'm like, I'm looking at them. Real
Yeah.
talk. I'm looking at their kids, and I'm like, well, shit, you should have put yourself first because you fucked up. But that's a whole nother. No, I'm being real.
I
No.
know. It's just your delivery always.
And that's not what so the whole
Yeah.
situation's fucked up. So yes, I would put myself first, because if
Mhm.
I don't, and I say this to all the young moms out there that I
Yeah.
in coming to encounter with, you have to take care of you.
First.
Because if you don't, you will be no good to them kids.
Yep.
You won't be. You're gonna be
That was
burnt
it.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the advice that was given to me too, because I was also had the same mindset as you, Joe, that the kids.
Mhm.
And somebody told me very early with my first one, like, if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of him. Or you can't take care of your kids. You have to take care of yourself first. Like, if you don't eat, you don't have no energy, you can't get up and do what you need to do for them. If you don't, like, you have to put yourself first in order to be able to be the better version of yourself for them. So I got in that advice early on. And yeah, of course, we made certain sacrifices and we made certain, like you said, adjustments and stuff. But when it came down to certain things that you needed to do in order to be better version of yourself for them, you had to
Mhm.
do that. So
Fortunately, I didn't have people telling me all that. I had to pretty much do all this
Yeah.
And that's the
by
thing,
myself.
people don't share. So
Yeah. And then you just spark something else, Jay. In the same vein, when you are with your partner, I
Hmm.
had someone tell me I was usually good with this type of stuff.
Hmm.
But when you have kids, you get in a rut sometimes. When
Hmm.
and what I'm going with is how you present yourself and show up to your partner in terms of the aesthetic.
Hmm.
mhm.
Okay. So in
Mhm.
my early 20s, I had a woman, never forget it. She was older, maybe older than me by maybe 10, 12 years, but she was in the church. And this is when I used to go to church quite often. And we were having some sort of, I don't know, session. And she says to me, we were talking about showing up for yourself
Mhm.
and showing up for your partner. And they asked me, you like, do you wear your rag on your head? Now back then there were no bonnets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, man, I'll be wearing my rag, while I'm cooking dinner. She was like, no. And this is at the time when I had very long hair. And she was like, no, baby, that's not how he met you. No,
Mhm.
you be in there in that kitchen with your hair done up. You be
Mhm.
in that kitchen and you do what you need to do. Keep that
Yeah.
spark. I ain't never
Hmm.
forgot that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was times when he come from work and yes, hair done, face is laid. Okay, card ain't declining. I'm looking good, and
Okay.
it helps. You know what I'm
It
saying? And
does.
you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel great. You feel sexy. You be like, yeah. So
Yeah.
you never forget that because as you have kids, you can get in that rut
Hmm.
and then you be looking all
Yeah. 'Cause
worn
them
out.
first couple of days be shit, but then, like you said, you gotta pick yourself up, spruce yourself up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
So
the one thing I could say back then. My hair was always, there was never a period in time where I was going outside or being in the house because doobies was the thing. So
Yeah.
unless it
yeah.
was wrapped, most majority of the time it was always down until I'm ready to go to bed. And then even then, if it got sweat out just a little bit, I was still looking good in the morning when I got up if I didn't wrap it at night. So
I
that's the
know
one
that.
thing I could say.
It said we were sold on the idea that by a certain age we'd be done evolving, career, confidence, locked in personality, complete. Like, I think that's like a big old myth. Like, there's nothing at any given point in age that says you're done doing anything, which goes back to my earlier point. I'm saying, like, I feel like people are always evolving, those who want to anyways, like you, because you made the point that people's like, I'm just that way, which is
Mhm.
unfortunate, because I think even they're kind of evolving. They're just not admitting to themselves that they're evolving in certain kinds of ways. They stuck with the, oh, this is how I do things kind of situation. But there's other things I think people are changing and just not acknowledging that they are. But definitely, there's no certain age that you're going to be done evolving. You're gonna, to me, you're going to always be evolving. I know I am. I'm never grown. I'm not fully grown yet. I'm still growing up.
Everybody goes through it. You go through stages in life. You go from being someone's daughter to growing into a woman. Then once you have your own children, that's a new stage, depending on how long
Mm-hmm.
that lasts. Now you got
Mm-hmm.
kids out the house.
Mm-hmm.
You may either at this point going through the post menopause, you're having issues, you either divorce or you and your husband working it out. That's another stage. And then
Dating.
depending on what happens with that, now you're in a new chapter in your life and you're trying to figure out where you're going to go next. Your kids are
Mm-hmm.
grown. You may want to travel. And this is the stage I'm at right now. I want to do certain things, but then I still have a few items that I need to work out. But I know it has to get done because I'm going to keep changing. It's not
Yeah,
time to rest. I can rest when I die. That's how I look at life.
absolutely.
You're supposed to keep going. So we all go through it, no matter
Yeah,
what stage in life. There's just different levels. That's all.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I think to your point, there's many versions that
Hmm.
we go through. When I ask myself the question, how many versions have I actually lived?
Hmm.
And the answer to that was I've lived a number of different versions. I had the survival version. right?
Mhm.
Like, man, I just got to help pay these damn bills, you know, feed these kids, you know what I'm saying? I had the climb in the corporate ladder
Mhm.
version
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so ambitious. So I needed going through that. That's my hustle stage. And my hustle version has not left me. It's just morphed into something different.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm no the my desire to climb the corporate ladder, maybe it's because I have climbed it. I
Mhm.
I don't even have that. I don't even care about corporate America. To be honest with you, I'm in a different stage. But the hustle part is still
Mhm.
in me, right?
Yeah.
There's the healing version. Be quite honest, I'm still in that. There's versions of me that have healed. There's versions of me that are still healing, and I'm still
Mhm.
constantly working on.
Yes.
It's the who to the earlier point that we kind of touched on earlier is like the who you thought you needed to be version,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Because that person you thought you needed to be for this person or that person,
Yeah.
I'm done with that because I'm gonna be
Mhm.
who I want to be.
Right.
And I'll change if I want to be. And this is the beauty of it. And this is what I encourage people to do is like have the courage to change. You could be one way Monday, and if that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't serve you when you get home on Monday night, and you want to wake up on Tuesday and be like, I don't be that no more. I don't be like
Mm-hmm.
that anymore. So just change.
It's my
Exactly.
prerogative to change day to day.
That's it.
Yeah. Because
But
that's
people
that's
don't
the
give
other point I
themselves
was.
permission. People don't give themselves permission to do that.
That's it. That's
Mhm.
it. They don't because they think they got to keep doing things this way or that way,
Mhm.
right? I feel like even I think we're every day. It's not even a month, year, six. I mean, yeah, you see big changes when you talk about 6 months versus a year versus yesterday or today. You see, like,
Mhm.
hopefully, you see big changes. But I think every time you change, you're learning something and you're unlearning something.
Mhm.
So things that when you're unlearning, you're unlearning the things that were not beneficial to you. So you're gonna stop doing that. So I think
It's
change is constant. It's every single day of your life. Like you never walk out. To me, I look at it like I know we have 4 seasons, right? But you
Mhm.
walk out the door every single day. Every day doesn't feel and look the same as you walk out that door. That's how I look at it. It's different. The air smells different than it did yesterday. Like
Mhm.
something on the street that wasn't there, it's just like different to me. So I feel like life is like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you mentioned something. And I just want to touch on this. And I want to ask you a question. Do you think there's a difference between being older and growing older and growing wiser? Do you think it's synonymous? It goes hand in hand?
No.
It goes hand in hand.
So wait, one at it. So Jay said no, and
Mhm.
Joe, you said it does. I'm asking.
Yes.
So
It's hand in hand to me.
okay, I need
As
you
you're
both.
getting older, you're getting wiser. Is it?
Are we?
No, wait. You're not see. So explain yourself. So no, Joe, you're saying as you get
Uh-huh.
older, your belief is that as people get older. No, I don't want to say it. You tell me what your belief is.
As you get older, you're supposed to get wiser because as you're going
Don't
through
add
life,
your quotes because I said something now.
each experience you're getting a lesson from it. You're supposed to take a lesson from it. So as you're doing that, now going into the next stage of your life, not to do or you shouldn't be doing what you learned in your lesson in the previous chapter of your life. So as you're getting older and going through life's lessons, you're getting wiser with each chapter of your life. I just think it's hand in hand.
Okay.
It's supposed to be in a perfect world. Now there are some people that's not doing that, but for the most part, you're supposed to, as you get older, get wiser.
Yeah.
So Jay.
Yeah. So I like that you said supposed to at the end of your explanation because yes, we should be learning as we're getting older. But some people, they don't, they just keep repeating the same things and doing the same things over and over. And to me, that's not getting older and wiser. That's just getting older. So I don't think it goes hand in hand, because if you are making the same mistakes that you've made in the past, that's not yielding you or benefiting you in any type of way, but you still keep doing it, and or still keep complaining about it, or still find a problem with it, but yet you're still doing it, you're not getting wiser. You're just doing this, just repeating the damn cycle. So to me, I don't think getting older and getting wiser goes hand in hand. Some people never grow up. So, and whatever that means, like, I know I made the statement before, like, I'm still growing, because I am, but I'm growing for a better version of me. I'm not growing in the point of that I'm staying stuck and never maturing and doing things better or different from me. And I won't say that I haven't been there. I won't say that I haven't done things over and over again that didn't benefit me, because we all got to learn. Sometimes you have to get hit upside the head more than once to figure out this shit is not working. But it's the point to do that. And some people, they just keep getting hit upside the head and just keep doing the same shit over and over again. So,
but that's not everybody.
I didn't say everybody. I said some.
Okay.
So here's my take. I've always believed that there's a difference in between growing older and growing wiser. I think more people think like you, Joe, and look at older people and automatically think they're wise, they're old. Let me seek counsel. Let me, see, because they've been here for decades. Let me see their experience.
And they should know.
Yes, that too. A lot of people think in the same vein. That's why I asked this question, because I know there's going to be people that listen or watch the podcast and maybe be like, no, I'm with Joe. I feel that. Me personally, and I've always felt this, and maybe this is a byproduct of how I grew up and what I was exposed to in and outside of the house. But I don't and never did believe that if you're older, you're wiser. Because even, like I said, from a young age, I've seen older people with decades of experience still make reckless, harmful, dumbass decisions. Okay. And I just believe that time doesn't necessarily make you wise. I think self-reflection makes you wise, or helps you when you do that self-reflection to realize everything that you said, Joe. Oh, wait, I made this move. Oh, I messed up. Then you become wise. But everybody don't learn from their lessons, you see?
Or even seeking help.
Or seeking, right? Exactly. So age, that's automatic. That's going to happen. You're going to get older. We can't stop it. As much as people have the facial creams and all this bullshit, you're going to get older. But growth, that
mental
is an
growth.
Option. Mental growth, that's an optional. And it's only if you choose to.
Yeah,
that's why I don't always seek. I can learn some stuff from some older people, but hell, I can learn some stuff from some younger people. I can learn some stuff from my age. So I never subscribed to that. Oh, let me seek counsel because they're like, Yoda and shit. Nah, some of them is dumb as doornail. You know what I mean?
If you, excuse me, if you think about it, right? We think about our parents and our parents' parents when they were here still with us. When I think about my grandmother, my great grandmother, and who was still here with me up into my adult working career, life woman, mother, and all that stuff. I taught them things that they were never taught or didn't have, or even though they had access to. And it wasn't because they didn't want it. They just didn't know it. But what made them wiser is that they was willing to learn and absorb the information and use it versus challenge it. So, while they didn't know certain things, they came to know things which helped them be better and do better, which to me is what makes you wiser as you get older. To your point, people just keep doing the same dumb shit over and over again. Those are not wise people. So
go ahead, Joe. You frowning your face up. Say what you got to say, girl. Don't play around. Say what you got to say.
It's still, as I said, as you get older, you learn from your lessons, whether it may take you longer than some, but still you're getting wiser because you're reflecting and learning from those lessons. So I just have a different viewpoint on it. I mean, I agree with both of y'all points, but I also think as you're getting older, depending on what you're going through, you are going to look at what happened and reflect on it. Now you may do the same dumb shit again. Some people don't. They learn from it, and that's how you get wiser, because you're going through those cycles of the lesson, reflecting, and either moving forward, trying to do it better, or making a mistake. So they go hand in hand. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
So
So I hear I think where you're going with it is you're saying you're being more optimistic that people are learning, right? That's your argument on that
not
side.
everyone, but for most, yes.
And my argument is that nah, they're not. They're not all the time. Not all the time. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we can meet in the middle. And I would say
Mhm.
again, I would just reiterate what I said earlier is aging is non-optional, right?
Mhm.
And growth, mental clarity, mental, understanding, learning from your lessons, that is the option that one should choose. But it's not synonymous. It doesn't go hand in hand. You have to choose it. So that's kind of where I'm with it.
Yeah. And I would ask Joe, like, I agree to your point too, to some degree, and I agree with Kira about meeting in the middle, right? So if this person makes this mistake one time, two times, three times, and still never learn, that's not growing, right?
But it all depends on what mistakes they're making.
No, it
A
doesn't.
mistake is a mistake.
A mistake is a mistake.
A mistake is a mistake. If things are not benefiting you,
Jay, reiterate what you just said, because I want to make sure. You said if the person makes the mistake
one time, they say make the same mistake second time and or third time, have they grown? Have they reflected? Have they learned? If they haven't done any of those things and they keep doing the same thing that's not benefiting them in a positive way or helping them in a way, and they keep doing this, they're like stuck in this cycle of rinse and repeat. That's not, to me, that's not learning. That's not growing. That's not gaining wisdom, because you're still doing the same exact thing constantly. Whereas if it was one time, maybe two, and they figured out, okay, this is no longer benefiting me, this is no longer working for me. Now they've developed some knowledge and some wisdom to say, okay, I'm not doing that anymore, versus a person who's constantly doing the same thing over and over and over again, no matter what the outcome is.
But it still all depends on what area of life you're talking about. So you have people that may be phenomenal with money. They know how to make money. They're rich, but they have a terrible love life. Or they're phenomenal when it comes to business and running a business, but they were a terrible parent. So they didn't learn as they were going through their stages of being a parent, but they excelled in other areas of their life. So they could have, I guess, had mental clarity and growth with that. But then on this side of the spectrum, you weren't the best parent, but they became a better grandparent.
So let me go back to your first example.
It all depends on what area of life we're talking about here.
Let me go to your example.
Different experiences to go through.
Yeah. So let me go back to your first example where you said they're great at money, they're good financially, they suck at love.
Yeah.
If you keep doing the same shit over and over and over again in love, you're never going to learn how to love. So you're never going to have wisdom. You're never going to grow in that area.
Yeah, in that area. So that's what I'm saying. It's different areas in life that you're going to go through different lessons. You'll learn from some lessons and excel in, in that, but then in other parts of your life. True. But you're still growing. You're still going through those stages as you're getting older.
True. But I think the point here is, if you never stop doing the thing that's not benefiting you, you're not going to grow. You're not going to gain a better outcome, because you still keep doing the same dumb shit over and over again. You're not learning. You're not growing. How could you say somebody, they know finances? They're, like you said, they're great at that, but they suck at love because they
didn't learn how to love, but they know how to make some money. So yeah, it's different areas of the life. I mean, I think I understand what you're saying. We are making valid points here, but I'm just looking at it. It all depends on what area of your life we're talking about. And
I want to go back to the original question, because I feel like we veered off, and just let's anchor on that, right? As you get older, is getting older synonymous with being wise? That's the question.
Okay.
Period. It don't matter whether you are a phenomenal husband, wife, mother. You know what I'm saying? Let's just my question is getting older synonymous with getting wiser? And we clearly have different answers, right?
Yeah.
Joe says yes, it does. My voice, I already said no. Jay, you already said
You
no,
said
it does
no.
not. So it doesn't matter when you said it, when Janine Jay was asking about like you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, and you said, well, it depends on what type of mistake it is. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. It goes back to the question at hand. You keep making the same mistake, you ain't learned. That ain't wise.
Okay.
Now, to your point, the example that you gave, if you was a terrible mom, or you wasn't, not, I don't want to say you terrible mom,
Not a terrible mom.
if you wasn't a good mom and you made mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
but then you're a phenomenal grandmother, that to me is someone who learned. They don't want to do the same thing. But also in that same vein, a lot of times, and I'm not a grandmother yet, but I've actually came across something I read, is like sometimes that feeling of the mistakes that you've made as a parent, you decide to do things a little bit differently to kind of make either internally make amends within yourself, and you are also operating not in a survival mode. You're operating differently. Things for some women, not all, or some people, not all, but sometimes you operate a little bit differently because you don't have the same stressors that one may have had when they were younger. But then that's something, again, if you make the change, I don't want to veer off too much, but if you make the change, my point is that's people's getting wiser. If you choose not to make the change, to me, you're dumb as a doornail. That's it.
She said dumb as a doornail.
Yeah. Anyway, so sorry. Didn't want to take us down a rabbit hole, but I tend to do that.
So, in terms of the next version, right? So part of becoming the next version also may require letting go of things that no longer benefit you. And some of those things could be people you've outgrown, roles you no longer want, versions of yourselves. We talked about for survival, not joy, the evolution, now subtraction, not addition. So like, what do those things look like for you in terms of letting go to be the next version of yourself? If that makes sense.
If I'm understanding your question, it's like, what are some of the things that you're letting go in order for you to level up or just evolve into something different and do something different? Do I got it right? Okay. I think you brought up a very good thing earlier, which I wanted to tackle. Like, it's a perfect opportunity to tackle now, but we're down on a different path. Is the ability to unlearn something, because people don't realize sometimes that shit is hard because you're so used to doing that routine.
Yeah, I was gonna say
mindset, right? It's not only becomes a routine, but depending on what it is, it's a mindset that you have that you automatic, it becomes innate within yourself that you just start operating in that way because you've been thinking about that way for so long. So to unlearn is something that I don't think enough people talk about, because that helps you to evolve. I put a post up earlier this week, and I'm a paraphrase because I don't got it in front of me, but it was something along the lines of there's some people that have this outdated belief of how 50 plus should live their lives, how they should look, what they should do. And it's an outdated belief. But if you don't change the way you thought about what 50 was, you will find yourself still operating in that way. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm too late. Oh, because you've been thinking about that way for forever, since you was 20 and 30. You know what I mean? So when you get there, if you want to be free and you want to be liberated and you want to do all these things because I'm 50 and I'm going to do, or I'm 40 and I'm going to do this. But if you don't shed that thought process of what you thought it was going to be, you're going to find yourself fighting yourself inside.
Yeah.
And you're not going to do those things. So that unlearning piece is so critically important to helping you evolve. And it is not an easy thing to do.
Well, it takes acknowledging first. Like, you got to realize, like, again, it goes back to, I think, something I said before as well. You got to acknowledge what's not working. What you thought or what used to work is no longer working, and you have to change those things. So I think that becomes a part of unlearning something.
Yeah.
Is realizing this is not working. It worked at one time. It's not working now. Or I thought it was working, and in reality, it really isn't. So I think it's those things is going to help you to help people unlearn certain things once they acknowledge that things are not even working, or they need to try something new or different.
I agree with that. And I think one of the things that can be very helpful is understanding what your patterns are. And I say this a million times, how you understand what your patterns are is journaling and understanding like what you are doing, and then going back, goal setting and journaling and figuring out, okay, I didn't get there. And I kept doing all this and it wasn't yielding the outcomes I was looking for. But you'll find if you go back and you're like, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Yeah.
Joe, what's your take?
No, I totally agree with you. I think a part of that has to do with also being confident in, I guess, the abilities that you have, and not being so scared to look outside the box and actually just go for it. If you've been in survival mode for so long, I guess it makes it harder to come out of that mode and just go for it. So you got people sitting back, looking at what they could have, should have done, and still not acting on their dreams.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you think that it has a lot to do with the trauma that they've experienced in their maybe childhood or adolescent stage? Or when I say, okay, I don't have to elaborate. You got it. All right.
Yeah.
So then my next question with that is, do you think that is beneficial for them to seek out counsel to address that trauma so
100%.
that they, okay. And so then my next question, do you think they should go to an older person because they wiser?
You would think by now, or by I guess being in your early 50s, you should have people that it all depends on your circle. It all depends on the people you're around, or you keep close to you. There may be some that are wise and you constantly go to them for advice. There's other people that don't have that. So they're seeking this knowledge or life's lessons on their own still. There's no one that they can turn to. The few people that were here are no longer here. Now you're trying to figure it out. I know there's lots of people in that category. So
yeah, I think you got to be careful who you tell your trauma to. I read something earlier in it says something along the lines of, you got to be careful who you tell your trauma to, because you could be bleeding in front of a shark. Okay. And when I read it, I was like, damn, I live by this, because
that's a good one.
Yeah, it is, right? And I never was able to phrase it that way, but I was like, I have lived by that mantra, or whatever you want to quote, forever, because everyone ain't entitled to my story. And what I mean, and I'm bringing this up, Joe, because you mentioned this just now. Everyone is not entitled to my story, and that means not my family, not my friends. Okay. Definitely not anybody that is at work. Sometimes you got to seek out a professional. Sometimes, because sometimes the people in your circle, they can help you, but sometimes, they not really entitled to understanding what my trauma is. They're not entitled to understanding what my story is and how I move and the reason why I move, because it's not going to benefit me by telling them that. And what I mean, like, if I don't see the benefit, you don't get the insight. And that's facts for me. And this goes for friends, family, I choose who I want to share that with, because of the fact that you just never know. I've seen too much where people have trauma dumped and they get slaughtered, and it did not work out in their benefit. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that's why therapists exist,
because they're impartial, right? So they have no stake in the game. So
Exactly.
they're there to listen. Their whole role is for you to dump on them. Oh, that's not their whole role. That's a big part of their role. For you just release everything to them. Like you want to just get everything out. And that's what they're there for. Some people are just not able or equipped to handle what you're trying to share. And that's in many different ways. That means because either they're not really a good friend to begin with, they can't handle because they got their own stuff going on. They will use it against you. Like, it's many reasons why you really want to be careful to Key's point about who you share stuff with, where as you're paying this person to hear all your shit and they go on, you know what they're doing? They going someplace and telling people their shit because they need therapy too, right? Because they're absorbing a lot from a lot of people energy, a lot of people hurt, a lot of people pain or whatever. They got to be able to release that someplace else. But then some people don't know you and they don't talk about you by name or anything like that, right? So at least they're not supposed to. But that's what their role is, and I think those are the best people to do that with. But finding the right one is still, even in that regard, you still got to find the right one there that works for you, because they all don't necessarily work for you just because that's what their profession is.
And I just want to make sure that I'm completely clear. This doesn't mean that you don't share things with your friends and your close friends and your family. It just means that there's levels to this.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I would say if I don't see the benefit of me sharing it, they don't get the insight.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's all. So when I was thinking about this topic too, I was also thinking about, like, this is not my final form. I feel like this is more of a seasoned edition of me, right? So, and I'm just adding little spices on as I go. So like I talked about earlier, no willy-nilly, less impulsive, more thoughtful, more intentional, more planning, still curious and want to learn and grow, but everything is not like immediate. Like, I'm just being more intentional about how I do things, spend my time, where my time is spent, what that means for me, and how I'm taking care of myself, like mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I'm just going to continue to evolve, to your point, Joe, to the day we leave this earth, because we're supposed to continue to grow and evolve. So I don't think I'm not done evolving. What about you, ladies?
I got a question. So I got one more question before we do this.
Ask away.
If you can disappear for 1 year and money was not an issue at this stage in your life, where would you go and what would you be doing?
Shit. You should have sent me this in advance so I could have really put some thought into it.
I mean, wait, disappear for a full year, or or what is it?
Like, if you had the opportunity now that you're at a point where you're ready to fulfill or go after a dream, and you could disappear for a whole year and go do that, and money was not an issue, where bills and everything is going to be paid, you don't have to worry about money, where would you go to do that, and what would you be doing? What would you do?
Well, you're asking, that's two separate questions. I just want to point that out, because you went to where would you go, and now you're talking about what would we be doing.
Yeah, where would you go to do it, and what would you be doing when you go away for that year?
Yeah, so you're talking about
disappear for a whole year. Yes,
but that's
a dream.
Okay, thank you, because you do.
I said that.
I don't know. Maybe I didn't get it. I didn't get that. Okay, now I got it. So I guess my answer to that is, I don't feel the need that I have to disappear anywhere to fulfill the dream.
Okay.
Because my dream lives right in my heart, and I will do whatever I need. I'm in the point right now where it's anything that I want to do, I'm going to do it. I don't need to go anywhere to do that.
Okay.
So it could be a million different things that I have and stored in my brain, but I don't feel like I need to go anywhere to actually make it happen.
Okay.
I don't need that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have an answer because I think everything I want to do, I'm going to do it right where I'm at. I don't, because if I want to do something, me going away to get it done, it's not going to happen where I'm at, right? So I think I would stay where I'm at. I don't think I would go away to do anything that I want to do either.
Okay.
I just don't know what I would be doing just yet because there's lots of things that you want to do or I want to do rather, and I just rather just do them where I'm at. I probably wouldn't be doing the 9 to 5, right? That's the only thing I probably would say.
Okay.
Well, you answered the damn question. You asked it. What the hell? You say something.
I'm going to Hawaii for about 3 months and putting my my plan in order, and then coming back and just letting it rip off.
Got it.
So what if your plan has to be executed here? You're going to be in Hawaii. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it
for the first 3 months of that year.
To plan it out.
Plan, yes.
Okay.
Need clarity, no interruptions. I like beach water. That makes me calm and relax, and it helps me concentrate. So those first 3 months is planning. Coming back, execution.
So you think people are distracting?
Oh yeah. What I got going on, yeah, it's distracting.
I feel you.
If I could bring Raven with me, it'd just be me and Raven in Hawaii on the beach every day.
You know what's interesting? I think for me, because I have an innate ability, probably very detrimental to, it's not good all the time, I'll be honest with you, but I have an innate ability to, when I want something to get done and be really truly focused, I can block everything
out. Yeah.
I don't need to go, even in the office, like people will come to me talking, hey, da, 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 and I'm not hearing them because I'm so focused. So I don't necessarily have to go anywhere. Like I got good blockers when I don't want to be bothered, and it don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
When it came to my career, I'm like that. When it comes to my work, but now if I'm in a position to do something for me, turning off that and trying to focus on this and get out of survival mode, for me, I would need to go and regroup.
Okay.
So
I feel you. So a lot of people are like that. They have to get away. Sometimes it's good to have better scenery. Yeah, I don't necessarily. That's yeah. So I guess
I've always been laser focused when it came to work, but now I need to focus on me. And I think if I had the ability to do that, I'm gone. I'm out. I see y'all in 3 months.
I challenge you. Why can you do it for work when you can't do it for yourself?
That's where I'm struggling. And we'll leave it at that.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to turn on that selfish mode, child.
Yeah. I'm selfish in some areas, but not when it comes to a few things. And I'm working on that now. So for me, it's Hawaii. Sorry, ladies.
Bye. See you when you get back.
Yeah, when I get
back. All good. All good.
So for our viewers out there, if you're not already in your final form, hopefully you're not, but what are you working on and how are you evolving? What are you doing today to get to that next version of you?
That's a perfect way to do it.
So just know that your final form isn't about being more or becoming more. It's about becoming your truer self and having the courage to act on it.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Cool. Let us know in the comments.